Hey guys, and welcome to today's video where I'm introducing you to Ace. Hello Ace. So Ace has actually been here quite a while, but I am a little bit disappointed in myself that I have not done a video about him. I guess I just wasn't really doing a lot of YouTube at the time that we got him. So he didn't get an introduction video. So sad for you. I purposely did not bring treats for this video because I knew he'd be a little monster, but he's going to be a monster anyway. Anyway, Ace is a new horse. I've actually bought only half of him. He's not fully mine, he's only half mine. Isn't that right, Acey? So I bought him with Maria, who works at the yard with me, because she didn't have a horse. And I just felt like that crime had to be solved, right? We had to get her a horse somehow, some way. So we said, look, we'll go in halves on a horse. He is going to make this video very difficult. I don't even have anything. Oh my God, Ace. Right, well, anyway. So we said, look, we'll buy a horse together. He can stay here. She doesn't have to pay any livery. You know, she can ride him in the afternoons. And yeah, it was perfect. And I'm like, always want to buy a horse, like any excuse. So we're looking for not that long. We just looked on Facebook and done deal. Didn't have a huge budget. So we were probably looking for something unbroken. Maria's broken horses loads of times before. And obviously I was more than happy to give her any help if she needed. So we were looking for unbroken. We found a horse and he was a bay gelding, not you. And he was about 2.5 hours away. And look, he was grand. You know, he had nice enough breeding. They had loose jumped him. He wasn't anything crazy special, but he was going to be a really nice horse. And, you know, it would have been a nice project and would probably have been able to move him on fairly quickly. So Maria called them up. They said, look, the money that we have on him is negotiable. He was a bit outside our budget. So he said, look, if the price is negotiable, we'll go and we'll have a look at him and we'll vet him and we'll pick him up there and then if everything is good. So we went and we saw him and look, he was fine. He was nice. I think we're a bit spoiled here in the yard because we have a lot of very nice show jumpers and he's just like, you know, he was a very nice horse, but he wasn't really blood or anything like that. So we said, look, this is what we'll be able to offer you. It was just below what they were asking and they were like, no. And we were like, oh, we thought it was negotiable. And she was like, oh yeah, like I'll take €100 off. I was like, okay. So we did not buy him because he couldn't justify the price. So on actually that morning, I had sent Maria a link to another ad of another horse, another bay gelding. This time we're talking about you, Ace. And I said to her, like, I just sent it to her and saying like, oh, look, here's a horse in our budget, you know, just so that when we go and see this one, we don't get excited, like there's plenty more fish in the sea, basically. But he was like 4 hours away from us. So anyway, when we didn't buy that horse, I said, should we just call this guy up? He's only an hour away from where we are now. And we called him up and we chatted to him. He was a really sound guy, a farmer, bought him as a foal and then usually sells them on as 3- and 4-year-olds. So we drove the hour, saw him. There was no loose jumping. There was a very brief trot up during which he had his tail up in the air and was, honestly, I don't know how he didn't get loose. And then he also knocked his owner onto the ground. You were very naughty, but you know what? You were in budget. So Ace is a 4-year-old. He was unbroken at the time. He is by the stallion Quality Time, who I would say has a little bit of a, what's it called? Who I would say is a little bit renowned for having horses that are not difficult, but you can see what we're dealing with here. You know, they have a personality. His dam actually jumped 1.35 meters herself, so she jumped like small Grand Prix, and his dam is by Aldatis, said. So he is well bred. He's about 16 hands, so he's perfect because Maria is 5 foot nothing. No offense, Maria. but she is very petite, so we didn't want to get anything too big. And yeah, we didn't know if he could jump, but we knew he could move well, that was for sure. And he had quite the character. So we said, go on, we'll buy him. We did a bit of dealing, we paid it for him, and we brought him home the same day. Unfortunately, by this point, we were on the far coast of the west of Ireland, and we had quite the long drive home, didn't we? Because we weren't really planning on going to view him. So by the time we got home, it was like 11 p.m. at night, and it was pitch black, and we just put him in a stable and said, you know what, we'll worry about you tomorrow. So that was a few months ago now. He has well settled in, as you can see, although he was never there's never any problem. He was super friendly. He'd obviously been only had positive experiences with people. He was a little bit boisterous, we'll say, but he's getting a lot better, despite what right now is indicating. So Maria has done all the work with him. She did all the groundwork, all the lunging, and he is now being ridden. Isn't that right? So she's trotting and cantering him around poles. He's a very good boy most of the time. He's obviously got a lot of personality, but he is so sweet at heart. He doesn't have any bad bone in his body, but he gets a bit bored. He likes to jazz things up a little bit, I'd say. Isn't that right? So yes, he had some moments, but overall pretty good. No one's fallen off him yet. Touch wood, we'll say that. So after a while of having him here, we loose jumped him, and we're very pleasantly surprised. We were very hopeful that he would be able to jump just with his breeding and his movement and everything. So yeah, we were very happy when we loose jumped him, and he could jump, and he was very careful, and he's a great back end, don't you? And then Maria rode him over some poles for the first time. Oh my God, I hope I have some videos. But he would just launch himself into the air. He would jump over the wings over these poles. He was so funny. Anyway, very careful, loves to jump, but has now settled and is now trotting around poles very calmly, aren't you? So we're very happy with him and how he's progressed. So I guess the next question is, what's the plan for Ace? So originally the plan was to buy a horse and then sell it at the end of the year. That was when we were going to buy something that was just really nice, nice and safe and easy. We've now bought quite a talented young horse. I feel like it wasn't really what we had planned, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all, Ace. So I think, look, it's up to Maria. It's her horse. It's her horse. I'm just monetizing it for YouTube. I know. So it's up to Maria what she wants to do, basically. I'm hoping she'll keep him and ride him and go to shows. And I think she will, to be honest. He'll definitely go to shows before he's sold. But then whether he's sold at the end of this year or if she keeps him until next year or even the year after, who knows? Yeah, it's totally up to her. So we'll see what happens. But I'll keep you guys updated now that you've actually met the horse. Before, it was just random videos here and there on Instagram with no information about him, no backstory, no context. So here's some context. He's very cute, very cheeky, bay gelding, whose name is Ace. His passport name is actually Bailiff Time. Bailiff is the name of the stud that bred him, and Time from Quality Time, I presume. Maria decided on the name Ace, so that is what we have been calling him. And yeah, he's an absolute cutie patootie, and long may the not falling off streak continue. I really feel like I've jinxed it now. I was actually maybe gonna ride him. I've never ridden him, by the way, guys. Maria has literally done everything with this horse. I'm purely just using him for views right now. I know, I'm hopefully gonna have a little ride on him at some point, and I feel like I've totally jinxed myself that I will be the first person to fall off this horse. Isn't that right? Because he loves Maria. And I think he just sees me as the girl who feeds him every evening. And that's about it. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed meeting Ace. And oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna lose half my hair. And enjoyed the clips of him riding and jumping over poles and also jumps. And yeah, I'm really excited for his future. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated now that you've actually met him. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. You're a good boy. You're so cheeky.